you gonna believe it if I would say thinking is one of the most critical skill in this world. Not just one of the most critical skill, but also this is what is the reason why knowledgeable people are still struggling. Why knowledgeable people are dying mediocre after studying for decades, after learning for decades. They're just dying because of the reason they do not know how to think. And I know that you will raise up and say that, hey, what you are talking about, Pearl, then it means that I have more authority than those all knowledgeable people because we are Asian. And Asian people have done PhD in overthinking. I do overthinking daily, at night, at morning, evening, afternoon, every time. What are they saying? I'm more authority person than them? Then I would say no. There's a huge difference between overthinking and thinking, and actually thinking. And thinking is not just thinking, it's a skill, and one of the most critical skill, where you actually have to think, not just make perception about that thing, not to just have like pretended situation about that thing. You actually have to think. You actually have to think. And even that thinking also sometimes includes research, deep research, and sometimes even psychology. And that's what actually thinking. But you do not have to stress off that, hey, thinking is this much difficult? Really? I never expected. No. You do not have to stress off it because I was just comparing with overthinking and thinking how much different it contains. Overthinking is just pretending few situation and just having a hope and like switching up next topic, connecting with other topic, and that's what. And which always results in a negative manner. It always goes on the negative side. But thinking actually do not. It just contains more creative ideas, more critical situation, and that's what. And as I said this thing that hey, humans think, they think, but they actually do not think. They think, but they actually do not think. A live example, people think they do all the thinking, overthinking. Hey, they are so big people, big authority people. They have done huge research because they did some overthinking. They just pretended a few situations. They just switched lots of topic, connected lots of topic. They did big thinking, big amount of thinking. So then it's the time that they were going to take a right decision or something great like it. But no. They're doing actually her overthinking, not thinking. And they think, but they actually didn't think. And that's what. And when we go again back to why actually knowledgeable people are still struggling, why they're still dying mediocre after having this amount of knowledge, that answer is very simple. And even I do not have to explain to you because I know you're really fed up by knowing those all answers, but you do not know of which question this answer is off. Because they're not having self-belief and they're not having consistency. They're not having self-belief and consistency with the right habits, self-image, and things which actually align with their values. They are not having that consistency and self-belief. And that's what's the thing which they do not have consistency and self-belief. And that's why they're not able to think. And that's why they're not able to think and make further decisions, more executive decisions. And that's what which will actually going to result. And that's what, when the question arises that, okay, but how to actually think? How to actually think? How? By mind, but how? Then the answer is, you have to have irrational self-belief. Irrational self-belief. Then you might ask me that, okay, having self-belief was okay, valid, worth it, everything. But why irrational? What's the reason behind it? Reason is very simple. Which is actually that you have to have irrational self-belief because when you are taking a step through believing in it, having that self-belief, and it's very hard to have that self-belief because you didn't have a result on it. You didn't implement it. You're at zero. You're having like almost 0% achievement on that thing. You do not know how that thing actually gonna work. Is it actually even gonna work out for you or not? Or your those all struggle, hard work will just gonna go in water simply? Or what will gonna happen? Because you're working hard on it. You're thinking. And you're just giving your time on it. And you do not know that it will gonna give you results or not. And you have to have that self-belief on that particular thing. So that is actually what is called irrational self-belief. And at that point, it's really very difficult to believe in that thing, to have that self-belief. Believe in yourself and believe in your inner voice and step out. And that's what's the thing. And as easy and as familiar it sounds, it's actually not. It's actually not. Most of the people give up. Most of the people even doesn't believe in themselves or never thought of that, hey, how great it would be if I was going to believe in it myself and take further step. That's what. And it's really very hard. And not just hard, but it is actually already built on you that, hey, it's hard. And it's actually going to be hard. Why? Reason is there. You went to school. You might then score well. You might score a D. Lost your confidence. You went to college. You had a degree. Result, Somehow you went to university, had a very bad results. Then you had a job. You're not satisfied at it. You're not having enough by it. Then you go and check your bank account. You know your circumstances. You know your circumstances. And you think, you have that belief that your circumstances are not allowing you. And it can be the situation. And that's why you do not think. You do not think that, hey, why should I listen to my inner voice? Take another steps. And this is actually what's the power of inner voice. And you don't take any other steps. And that is what's the thing here. You have to listen to your inner voice. Irrational self-belief. Listen to your inner voice. Take the step. Why I'm saying this? I know this thing is very familiar to you because I know you have heard this thing many times. But you have to actually listen. If you want to grow, if you want to think. Because thinking is not thinking, it's one of the most critical skills. As it's have given the name critical skill, so it contains value. Literally, yes. And that's what's the skill everybody do not have. Most of the skill actually common in millionaires and billionaires, thought leaders, thought people of this world. And that's what I'm teaching to you. Listen to yourself. Listen to your inner voice. Believe in yourself. At the point where nobody is believing in you. At the point where school, college, where everybody is against on you. When you are at your zero stage. Believe. I know you have heard so many stories where a person from zero to hero is growing. Exactly that one. Believe in yourself at that point. Why actually to believe? Even you have to ignore your circumstances. Why? And even everybody around you. Why? Like example, there are many people to prove you that you're not enough, you're bad enough. Live example, you take your family. Not every. Your relatives, your neighbors, society, youth. Just because of society, a person cannot speak. Just because of society, people are doing suicide. Just because of society, what not people are not able to do. So you have to ignore them. And you have to listen to your inner voice and do it. And so now the question here arises that, okay, believing in yourself, listening to the inner voice, correct, absolutely, I do agree. But actually, how to have that irrational self-belief? How? As I just told you just now. Don't be outside in. Don't focus, people are saying. Society is saying, circumstances, situation, conditions are saying, financial situation, those all kind of situations are saying. Don't be outside in. Be inside out. Be inside out. Look, whatever your dreams are, they are dreams just because of the reason you are not credible enough. And if you would be credible enough, then you must have that dream. Then you must have had that dream. But you're not having because it's your dream. So you have to be inside out so that you can do big. And that's what's the point. Don't be outside in. Be inside out. Listen to your inner voice. And nobody else can listen to that. Because it's all with you. And people would not going to come to you and tell you that listen to your inner voice. And the way they will come to you, you will never be confirmed that, hey, why to listen? You'll be confused everywhere. So it's the right time to listen. Again, I'm saying, the first best time to listen to your inner voice was 10 years before. Because if you would have listened, the situation wouldn't be the same. And the second best time is now. else again you will gonna be regretted person. So that's what. Listen inside out. Live inside out. Because you are a unique version in yourself. You are also born as anybody else born. They were not knowing anything special. You also learned, they also learned. And that's what. You're also having that same credibility to think, to walk, and to do all things. So think inside out. Because there are enough people to tell you that you are not enough. And don't forget that it's the skill which is the most critical skill. And thinking is a skill. And this is what is the reason why knowledgeable people are dying mediocre. Knowledgeable people are still struggling because they're not able to think. And you have to think. But still, you have to wait here. You do not have to stop here. But the second question here arises is that, okay, Paul, I will think, but I cannot be focused. I'm having that attention span problem. Then watch my another video, part 2.